The South African mining industry, if we were to compare it against its peers globally, is falling behind in terms of its own productivity levels. And it's a function of a lot of things. And I think as a mining industry, we have to confront some of these challenges. The first one among these is the whole issue of management and leadership. I think as an industry, we obviously have to manage our workforce a lot better. And I think there is a scope in the sense that in some areas we have done good work, in other areas we haven't. So I think, for example, post-Marikana, one of the things that came out quite clearly was the fact that the way we are communicating as an industry, we're communicating through the unions. So there's been a lot of progress and improvement since then to enhance the way we communicate, the way we engage, with our own employees. Second issue is the issue of health. It's very important that we have a healthy workforce. Issues of HIV and AIDS and TB are matters that the industry has been able to provide leadership, even at a time when government was not even on the table in regard to its own program. However, these have got a direct effect on how productive, employees are in the workplace. And the other one is issues of safety. It's very important that our employees work in a very safe environment. And we as an industry were very supportive of the provisions of Section 54. However, we have concerns around how that section is being applied. We think that there has to be a better way in which the Section 54s are applied in a manner in which it does not harm the industry but also enhances safety. And of course, the other issue that is very, very important as well for us to address as an industry is the issue of employee indebtedness. For employees to be productive, they've got to be in a very healthy mental state. So the issues of how they are indebted impacts on their own levels of productivity. I'm pleased to say that as an industry, we've made a lot of progress in the sense that at least from Anglo-American, but I know also for industry in general, there have been very good interventions that have been made, which the effect of that has been to improve the net pay that has come back to employees. So in other words, then the last issue I want to talk to is the issue of modernization. I think it's very important that we confront this issue as an industry, as a collective, but as all stakeholders. Number one, to improve levels of safety. Number two, to make sure that we are efficient and far more productive. But we need to take a holistic and ecosystem approach in the sense that if we were to lose jobs in the core areas of mining, perhaps some of the technology and equipment that is being used can be manufactured locally so that down the value chain you can create some jobs that would have been lost in the primary area of mining. So I'm confident that this is one area that if we were all to put our hands on deck, being government, being business and labor, and find lasting solution and try and step up to the plate so that over time we can be on par with our global peers, we can be able to address this problem. I think there are a number of basic things that need to happen. One, we need to communicate better. We need to engage more, and we need to build a common sense of vision and a journey as an industry where we can sort of travel together on these matters and understand the fact that if we are not a productive industry, our industry is going to shrink. We won't be able to grow. But if we are productive, we can find solutions that work for everybody. We'll be able to grow the industry. But also accept that technology is important because we're going to be far more efficient, but also be able to mine areas that otherwise we would not have mined. And we'll be able to even extend, the areas in which we mine. By so doing, we create jobs. And if we create jobs, we're able to bring more prosperity to the industry and for government as well be able to generate more taxes. So I just think that one of the things we've got to get right in this equation is the fact that it's not only on the part of the industry to get productivity right. We need employees. We also need government to collaborate and work together in a very safe environment. I think there are the issues of legacy, of course. I mean, we've got a history in South Africa, but I also think that maybe we're not spending enough time to engage constructively on these matters. And more importantly is that we need to come with the right attitude and be very positive in these engagements. I'm very hopeful that despite all of these challenges, it's within us to address this problem. I think it's just to us to focus and have a common vision in terms of growing the sector.